What's up, guys? Tyler here. Welcome back to Hypersonic Heroes. We got Gwen in here. It's supposed to be the best DPS of any hero, so we'll see how that carries over to Hypersonic Gwen. So Gwen is off to an excellent start, defeating the Moib very swiftly, and round 55 ends up being a pretty big joke too. Even that big 15 ceramic cluster gets taken down pretty swiftly. Let's try BFB. Those should be a little bit more difficult, I imagine. We can't take it down by the first top path, but underneath we shred through the remainders pretty nicely. Now we do have to end up using village ability, but it was close. We could have possibly gotten away with not using village ability. Now round 63 is surprisingly good, especially for a tier 1 hero, only leaking 2 white balloons in this wave, and with the village ability we are able to clear through a wave of round 63, and we're actually able to destroy round 76 as well. So the tier 1 Gwen is surprisingly good against most things. However, all good things will come to an end, and our end here is round 75. We're actually going to go back around to show that, yeah, it just cannot handle all these balloons. There's just way too many balloons, way too much going on. It's time to level up Gwen. We got tier 3 Gwen, which means we have cocktails. Now, there's 2 special things about cocktails. First off, there's 2 of them. Second off, they do insane damage. I don't know if you guys can see there how quickly they shredded BFBs and Moibs and everything. If you missed it, here it is again. Absolutely demolishing everything in their path on multiple paths as well. These cocktails are insane. Destroying the majority of round 75, leaking a few, and doing a village ability to clean up there at the end. It will ignore those leaks. Let's go down to round 80 and taking down the ZOMG layer very quickly. Might be leaking some, but oh no, the cocktails coming in with those snipes, barely touching the balloons on the path over, which is super handy. Now, if you guys missed it, if we activate the village build before activating cocktails, we don't get 2 cocktails. We get 3 of them for even more absurd, disgusting popping power. We might get to see it here. No, it just looks like normal cocktails again because the ability comes back fast. Still round 81, maybe a bit of a challenge with the amount of BFBs, creating a lot of super ceramics. Here we go right now. Village ability, 3 cocktails, and actually this round turns out to be not a problem at all. That DPS that just comes out is insane from those. So we're going to keep moving on. Level 15, double ZOMGs coming in, trying to time those cocktails for when they cross, and that seems to go very, very well. Knock one down to BFBs. A lot of balloons coming through, and I mean like 7-10 ceramics. That's not too bad, but it is leakage. It generally spells death. At least we got the second ZOMG, so that was alright. Time to level up Gwen a bit. We got level 5, we got 6, we got 7. We also have 4 in there, which do a variety of things. Mostly just probably higher attack speed, more popping power, heated up coming in, a bit more of a radius. It's actually not the biggest deal. It also creates a burn effect on the balloon, but mostly the increased popping power I think is actually the most significant increase here. Now, is that going to be enough to help us beat 85? It might. Hopefully more popping power is a good thing, and just better ability time, meaning better cocktails, meaning better DPS. Yeah, no, looks like we go through it just fine. Next crazy round, 87. Literally double 85 plus some because of ramping as well. So this is going to be a lot more difficult to deal with. I'll be impressed if we can deal with 3 ZOMGs out of the 4. But nonetheless, we're definitely going to keep trying. Definitely using the cocktails as soon as possible. Although I got to be sure that I can time it with the village ability. But that is not important there because we do leak another maybe 12, 16 ceramics. Hopefully we'll do better here. Ooh, doesn't look like so good. The cocktails wore off and the village ability wears off when all the balloons are coming through. And level 7 Gwen is going to eat shit. That's fine. Looks like it's time to level up once again to level 8. The big boy level. 2 fire blasts per shot. It looks like it takes down the first ZOMG pretty quickly. The innards are a bit of a harder part, but we do clean those up quite nicely. Almost all the ZOMG top layers down. Now we just got to have some well-timed abilities to clean all this up. We do let 1 ceramic by, but we can ignore that. And ignoring that, we do clean up pretty nicely. Again, just the triple cocktail goes very well. How do we do against DDTs? They are pretty scary. They do get far, but we do take them down. Close call. 93 coming up now. More DDTs, which we do take down just barely. The preemptive cocktails do very, very well. Now, remember, that's not the hardest part of this round. The hardest part of this round is actually the fortified BFBs, which seem to absolutely destroy us, especially when our abilities are just not active or anything. It's truly a disaster. So many balloons running through, mostly super fortified super ceramics, of course, but that's fine. We'll take it up level 9 and level 10, bringing us a Firestorm, and having the extra layer on the initial blast attack. So hopefully that means we'll be able to deal more damage to this, but one extra layer on something that deals 7 or 8 layers is not that big of a difference, and it shows here as we still leak, even with the Firestorm on our side. And the Firestorm, I suppose, isn't the strongest thing ever, but that's fine too. Now we're going up to level 12, which means we got some faster attack speed and a little bit more range. Hopefully that's enough to deal with it this time. If not, that's going to be really upsetting with all these upgrades still not letting us beat 93. It's still looking scary. Fortified super ceramics making it far, but we've narrowed it down to 3 fortified BFBs. It looks like we leak a little bit, but it's not quite the end of the world. That's fine. That round was tough, but it's okay. We got through it. Now for an even tougher round, round 95. A lot of DDTs, a lot of fortified mobs. Got to go for the triple cocktail once again. Doing significant damage to it for now, but once the village ability wears off, it becomes hopeless, and we leak a shit ton. So we're going to level up to level 14, where we have the cocktail fire doing extra damage, and hopefully that means good things for us. It does look like we take off all the DDT layers, but there's still a bunch of ceramics going through, and that's fine though. Now we're going for, I believe, or no, not the increased attack speed just yet, but we're giving this one more shot just to see. Nope, and it looks like we still leak DDTs, which is a shame. Level 15 now brings us increased attack speed, and we've basically lost this 3 times in a row, and what can I say? This is a hard round. Looks like increased attack speed does barely get it done though, and finally we're out of 95. Now, speaking of hard rounds, we got 98 coming up. I'll be impressed if we get past this, but you know, we'll try our best. Gonna have to use multiple of the village and triple cocktail abilities. Obviously still doing double cocktail as well, has not leaked any yet. Saving our Firestorm for a rainy day, aka a bunch of mobs popping at once, and hopefully, or just right there when it looked like we were gonna leak some balloons. That's fine too. And I thought we were screwed, but let's not forget about the cocktail's infinite popping power, which is just absolutely insane. We still leak a few super ceramics, which means I'm probably just gonna say that's the level 15's Gwen's limit. Let's level up, level 18. And that gives the Gwen additional attack speed, mostly. The other stuff is mostly just around irrelevant things like the Firestorm, increased duration, and heated up, giving extra monkeys 1 extra layer per pop. That doesn't really help us, but we do have the increased attack speed that helps us take down 1 BAD. Very nicely, actually, I must add. So we're going to keep ramping this up more and more BADs until they just become too much for us. Might as well sneak a Firestorm in there as well. Even though it currently does not do too much damage, still doesn't hurt to do. Launching the cocktails across the map too, 6 snipes as well. We're going to definitely need it for the 3 BADs. Just the timing has to be impeccable. The DDTs pop right before the village ability comes back though, which is actually kind of bad for us. Which I'm going to have to be careful of moving forward. That's fine, though. We still do pretty good. 5 BAD time, which is like 3, except it's 5. Very, very notable difference, I know. But the thing is, the Gwen just has such a high pierce that at this moment, it doesn't really matter if it's 3 or 5 BADs. On the innards, it might matter, but it hasn't quite yet. The DDTs, it definitely matters for, though. Maybe my cocktails be in a terrible spot. However, that still doesn't matter because the village ability plus Gwen was just enough damage to deal with it. I thought that would have been the end of us for sure without the cocktails, but looks like we don't even need them. Now, doubling that to 10 BADs. This is just going crazy really fast. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with the 30 DDTs on the inside. I doubt it. It looks like we're going to leak quite a few, even with the Firestorm. Cannot hold off the DDTs. I'm curious how we do against the ZOMGs. Wow, pretty good still. Damn, that's still solid that we deal with the ZOMGs that well. It's just the DDTs are a problem, meaning we are going to have to finally go to max level Gwen. Level 20, 10 BADs. This should be a lot better. We actually get a plethora of benefits from this. Level 19 gives the 3 blasts of fire per shot, which is an insane damage buff, as you can see, popping the BADs sooner, popping the DDTs very quickly. And then level 20, the Firestorm does increase damage, isn't actually the most significant buff of this is actually the monkey knowledge buff that grants the cocktail to come back so much quicker. The insanely high damaging cocktail now comes back 4 times, or probably twice as fast. I'm not sure of the exact metrics, but basically do a shit ton more damage with it, which is nuts. And I believe this is 15 BADs. Does not look like a problem at all. Deal with those very, very well. Even the DDTs. And this looks like a lot of Bloons having to use Firestorm here, having to use a well-timed village ability, but we do take care of it still. It is crazy, though. Barely hitting our pop limit on the Gwen, but not quite getting overwhelmed just yet. Now we're going to keep ramping this up even further. Another 5 BADs has been tacked on to make this 20 whole BADs. Now, this is probably close to Quincy's max, and I'm hoping Gwen can overcome this. And it looks like she does. She does take down the DDTs, which have been proven to be the hardest part so far, but this is starting to become a lot of ZOMGs. Thankfully, our Firestorm at the end actually does something, clutches out that last dense wave of Moebs, barely holding all that off, still scary, scary close. It's 25 BAD time. This is a dense cluster of BADs. Again, I can't really just send out 25 because I don't really want them coming from opposite paths. I think Gwen would only pop maybe 15 or so if it was like that, maybe even less for all I know. But Gwen does take care of the 75 DDTs. Now, can it handle all the Moebs? It looks like we actually leak a few Super Ceramics. It was close. I thought we had it for sure. It was looking real nice, but just the end portion of the Moeb train seems to be more dense than all the other portions, and a few Super Ceramics run through. That is okay. Now we're going to try it up against a fortified round 100 BAD just to see if we were playing alternate Bloons rounds. This is what we would be coming across. And it's taking a long time to kill it, even with all the abilities and all that. It's really not looking good for us. I haven't used Firestorm against the fortified DDTs to take them down, but unfortunately, the ZOMGs and everything just proved to be too difficult. Even some fortified Moebs run through, which is not good. Ready for more disasters? Here's round 163. Big cluster of ceramics means that we're just not getting the firepower for it. Even with Firestorm on our side, it just does not go well. We leak like 200,000 plus lives, even to the second super dense wave of super ceramics. We just can't even come close to taking that down. And that seems to be Gwen's limit pretty much. So Gwen seemed to be pretty comparable to Quincy, all things considered. Not really much better, not much worse. I would even say Quincy was better in some regards. Not all of them, though. I mean, you know, Gwen probably took care of more BADs, but Quincy was pretty underrated, I have to say. For the best DPS tower in the game, I don't really think Gwen showed it. I do think a big advantage of using Gwen in-game, though, is the heated up, giving +1 layer. So we didn't really get to see that shine, which is fine. I mean, you can't really do anything about that. And we miss out on that, but, you know, we still get pretty decent damage overall. Hopefully future heroes will provide us the damage we need. So stay tuned for those videos, and have a wonderful day. Peace out.